All right, it is time for our weekly professional learning lunch and learn series. I am here with a great team of educators from Hill Point Elementary School, and today we're going to be talking understanding by design, also known as backwards design. So I'm going to give them a moment to introduce themselves.
My name is Tiffany Jones. I'm a first grade teacher at Hill Point.
My name is Jamie Barksdale. I am the fifth grade teacher and grade chair here at Hill Point.
My name is Luann LaPointe. I'm the math coach here at Hill Point.
My name is Christine Pisani, and I'm the academic coach here at Hill Point.
And my name is Crystal Taylor, and I'm the proud principal here at Hill Point Elementary.
All right, well, thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm excited to get started. The first question that I have for you is to please describe your program that we're going to be discussing today.
Here at Hill Point this year, we've started really diving deep into UBD and getting our staff trained and starting the process during collaborative planning. We've kind of broken it into some chunks, but the first chunk that we're taking on this year is the leadership team is pretty heavily going through a book study with Dr. Culp, and we're a couple weeks ahead of the staff with their training. The staff follows us up with a monthly training on UBD. And then at the same time, during collaborative planning, we are really diving deeply into the standards and what the outcome of that standard is really asking students to be able to walk away with and what they're to be able to do. When we are looking at collaborative planning times, we're looking at the standards. We are building assessments that can be given across grade levels, common assessments, mostly in reading, because the math department really supports that, but they're looking still at the standards or the assessments, that are already made. So whether they're building it or looking at one that's made, they're really diving into understanding what students are expected to do. In this process, in the fourth 9 weeks, we will be able to take it towards the planning phase. So past just writing an assessment in the fourth 9 weeks, we're going to take the UBD process all the way through an entire lesson. So that's pretty much where we're at right now with our program.
Great, thank you. So my next question is kind of twofold. So the first part is, how does your program tie in with division goals? And then secondly, how has it been impacted by virtual learning?
So our Understanding by Design initiative aligns with the Suffolk Public Schools strategic plan under goal number 1, which focuses on academic growth. So within the plan, we're working on strengthening alignment and rigor using the backwards design instructional planning process, as well as increasing teacher collaboration through our planning process. So that's how it aligns with the division goals. It impacts virtual learning. The virtual setting has made the process for collaborative planning a little bit more challenging, of course. However, we have managed to push through the minor technical issues and continue moving forward with the process. Our grade levels meet weekly and are guided through this process virtually with the support of our coaches as well as our administrative team.
All right, thank you. So my next question is, how are students benefiting from this work, or how do you see them benefiting in the future?
Well, with fifth grade and with any grade level, it leads students to a more focused discussion and hands-on learning. And what I've noticed with virtual learning is that a lot of teachers are a little scared to go into that hands-on learning piece, where Understanding by Design completely does that. It makes it to where the children are able to transfer their in-class learning experiences to real-world scenarios. And there's so much going on in the world right now, you want them to be able to make those lasting connections. They're going to be deep-rooted connections that the students will be able to talk to their parents about. And when we take the essential understanding and the essential knowledge that's provided when the teachers are sitting there planning, we have to actually look at what those verbs are telling the students to do. And when we use Understanding by Design, the students are going to get to do that. They're going to create, they're going to design, they're going to investigate. And so those types of learning experiences are going to transfer to them, and they're going to be able to keep that for the rest of their life. It's going to help them accomplish necessary learning goals to where they can retain that information. Especially in the virtual setting, I know a lot of students and parents are worried that that's going to happen. They're not going to be able to retain that information. But with understanding by design, it's going to leave a lasting impression on the child for when they go into the next school year.
And in first grade, we have been able, the intentional planning has been great for us because we've been able to see more engagement in our students. They've also been able to understand the skills more. We've been able to plan more interactive lessons for our students. So they've been able to see more of the TI questions that they see on those semester benchmarks that they weren't too sure of when they were in school planning and they were in school taking those quizzes. So we've been able to do more of that online with the virtual learning. So they have definitely been more confident in their learning, and when they are taking their quizzes and their tests, it's become more meaningful to them, and they've been able to retain the information that they've learned. So they've also been able to go and apply those things to the PBL activities that they've been doing, and they've really been enjoying and been able to be confident in the things that they have learned in school.
Great, thank you. My last question for you all is, what recommendations do you have for your colleagues in Suffolk Public Schools?
The biggest thing that we're trying to get our teachers to understand is this is baby steps. We're not trying to get them to more or less eat the whole sandwich in one sitting. They're taking small bites. They're taking baby steps. If they can just understand the entire process, then they can understand that they're not actually going to be teaching to the test. Yes, they're building the assessments and the tests first, but that's making them dive more into the standard and learn all of the steps that are included in that standard. And they're not leaving any of the cognitive levels out, and they're really understanding where their lessons should start and how they should drive. I think if teachers would just keep in mind that this is a process, it's slow, it's not going to be something that they're all going to understand and accomplish in one sitting. And it's going to strengthen their lessons to where their lessons do become more meaningful, more hands-on, more engaging. And then the outcomes that they will have are going to be closer to mastery.
That's great. I know I'm so excited to embark on this work with you all. I know sometimes when I was in the classroom, I would fall victim to finding some awesome lessons and activities and then trying to see where the standards might fit within that. And I love how backwards design, as you've all shared, really forces us to look at what do students need to know at the end of what we're doing. And really the lesson planning is the last stage. It's how can the lessons support the unit that we've developed and the assessment that we've created and all of that as well. So thank you all so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to be able to share your knowledge and the great work that you're undertaking at Hill Point with the rest of our division. Thank you.
Thank you.